Jack and Mel weigh in.
So we got tweeted at Mel asking us what we thought the best beards in MMA were, and we thought, there's a point that we could probably debate a bit. So I spent a bit of time last night, and I know you did, debating who you thought had the best beard in MMA. So tell me who you had at number 10.
First of all, there were just so many great beards to choose from.
Too many.
Too many. I'm actually going to start with an honourable mention because I've sort of, looking down my top 10, it's apparent that there's a bit of a theme going on. Maybe a bit of a wild man sort of look with a full beard and mustache.
The Chuck Norris type.
Absolutely.
Quintessential man beard.
A man beard, yes. a man of the woods. So an honourable mention, because I admire his beard, but it just doesn't quite fit my criteria, is the welterweight champ, Tyron Woodley.
Oh, eliminating a big contender earlier on.
I know it's controversial, but I felt like it was worthy of mention. You know, it's nice and solid.
He's
round
a
the
solid
chin,
beard,
round the cheek.
well trimmed, well maintained.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it just the distinct lack of mustache?
I think so. I think I like a push brush.
Brush. Right. Okay. So I see that you're going to argue a lot about the technicalities of definition of a beard then in this video. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, let me start. Coming in at number 10, I wouldn't say a forgotten fighter. Italy's first and finest fighter ever in the UFC, currently not in the UFC, Alessio Sakara.
And what a beard. What a fine beard.
A fine, full, thick, well-rounded beard with a solid mustache.
Yes, there is a solid mustache aspect to that beard.
Yeah.
It is definitely a full beard. I can see if you're going for the Grizzly Adams outdoors kind, I can see that sneaking in at number 10. My number 10 was a forgotten fighter for a different reason, and that was the Ultimate Fighter's Court McGee.
Ooh.
Now, I mark his beard down for slightly scruffiness. It's not the most kept beard, but he's rocking an old school UFC fighter style beard. That's a common theme for me. So he gets points for me on old school beard cool. He rocked a beard, man, before it was cool to rock beards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a proper Amish bad boy.
Yeah, it is. And that's my number 10. My number 9, again, rocking the old school Tank Albert.
Oh no,
I know.
This is where we're going to clash. Is that a beard?
Yes.
Does it?
Yes.
Really?
But again, though, I'm only putting his on in the same way that you would include some of the older fighters and top 10 fighters ever, despite the fact that the competition level may have outgrown it since. He was rocking a beard from the early days, and as a pioneer of the MMA beard, I have to give him credit. I may not wear that beard myself.
No, it's a distinctive look.
It's an interest. It's a look. It's a look.
Combined with the physique and the mystique.
Or lack of physique.
Yeah, he did not make my list.
Okay, well, who did you have at number 9 then?
At me, I have Hapa, Travis Brown.
Ooh.
A very solid entry, and simply that it finished off a look. When Travis Brown first signed with the UFC, let's be honest, he looked like a 6'9" baby.
He was the creative fighter that you hadn't quite found what was missing yet.
But then, we got the sweet Hawaiian Polynesian tattoos, the chest piece, and the beard, pulled it all together. It's solid entry.
So you think that the beard was like, that was the equivalent of like a pocket square in a suit? It was like what completed the aesthetic.
Yeah, it's just part of the get-up. Nobody should be defined by the beard. It should complement.
Well, Travis Brown to me didn't make my list purely just because the same reason that I mentioned the other day with Travis Brown. I just flat out don't like him. Whenever I found out that
well, I'm not letting personal bias get in the way of a
good beard.
And for that, Travis, despite your past transgressions, I salute your beard growth.
So you're saying that you will not judge him for his previous transgressions. A beard is a beard, and respect.
This is just
this is just about the beards.
This is just about the beards. This is top 10 beards. This is nothing more, nothing less.
Coming in at number 8, who you got?
I got Michael Chiesa.
Ooh, is that not a bit too wild for you? A little bit unkempt.
As I said before, the beard, it complements the look. And then he's got the wild caveman hair and the
scrappy
the
boxing and
scraggy
like the
beard, and it all goes together. Great look, solid beard.
It's a solid beard. He didn't even make it into my top 10. One that I borderline regret now, because it is a decent beard. I will say a little bit too unkempt for me myself if I were to rock a beard. But I have Keith Jardine, the Dean of Mean. He actually, whenever we tweeted about this, he actually got in touch with us about the tweet, which was pretty cool. So that was a nice moment there. But he was included in this debate for me.
Once again, I'm going to challenge the fact: is that a beard?
Yes.
Or is that a goatee?
A goatee is a goatee beard, and the now shortened version of goatee beard is goatee. But a goatee is a beard. It is.
I'll give you it.
It is.
He doesn't fit my strict aesthetic.
Look, anytime you're going to put Keith Jardine, anytime that you can put Keith Jardine in any list, and anytime that we have a reason to talk about Keith Jardine, I feel like we should do it. Everyone should take that opportunity.
Respect is due. Fair enough.
Respect is due. It's another guy that, like, you have to remember that for me, like, when I'm looking at this, I'm talking about guys that I was watching as a teenager, desperately wanting to grow a beard and be like these guys, and I can't not include Keith Jardine. Like, that is.
Would you ever be tempted to rock the rat tail goatee?
Well, it's funny you mention that. I actually shaved not that long ago, and during the process, I did shave myself. I started with a goatee. What actually happened was I actually trimmed it a bit too high here. I was just trying to bring the neck in under control, and then decided, nicked the cheek, and then went, right, the beard's gone, so took it down to a goatee. The missus,
it's not
pleased with it. Not a popular look,
especially in 2018.
No, not a popular look. I then took it down to handlebars. Also didn't go down very well. The mustache, a little bit too ironic, a little bit too hipster for me. So.
I love rocking a mustache, but I get a very strong Freddie Mercury vibe.
Yeah, it's that borderline, like the mustache. Like, but the other concern you have from being from Northern Ireland is you don't want someone to mistake you for like a 1980s RUC officer who all seem to have mustaches. Or
definitely.
So no, it's a look I hide from myself. Number 8 or number 7, I should say.
Yes, on the 7. A lesser known beard, but doesn't make it any less impressive. Gareth McClellan, who he's on a bit of a bad run in the UFC, lost his last 3, but my goodness, combined with a shaved head.
And the South African
accent.
That doesn't help. That helps instill the fear into men.
You know, he's losing points for the Soldier Boy nickname, but he's gaining all those man points back and some
for the beard,
for the mighty beard.
See, it's funny, isn't it? We're so biased towards beards. Like, it does change my perspective. You're right. I'll always root for the beard, apart from when Tyron Woodley is fighting. My number 7 is, of course, Big Country, Roy Nelson, with a strong gentleman's beard. This, again, gets bonus points for the physique that goes alongside the beard.
And combined with the mullet.
The redneck mullet. Again, if you're going to rock that look, you have to be someone like Roy Nelson, as in... Roy Nelson is one of those dangerous people that you would walk past and see him. See if you thought twice about calling him a redneck. Like, you would regret that.
You get a good old boy beat down.
Yeah, you would indeed. So, like, I love the fact that he's literally rocking a mullet because he knows that no one is going to call him out in the fact he has a mullet. And I too am one of those people.
Oh, absolutely.
Number 6 for me, Kimbo Slice. May he rest in peace.
That's low.
It's low. It's a little too perfect.
It's a it was a well-groomed beard.
A little bit too well-groomed.
It had the volume. It was big.
It had volume, and it had density. It had it had a good and a nice sheen as well. Remarkable sheen to the beard.
Oh yeah, you could definitely keep your wallet and keys in it. It looked like it had enough density.
Have a family of birds living in it.
Yeah, density and yes, you could definitely house poor abandoned chicks in that beard. But yeah, my number 6 is a beard which sadly was with us for just a short period of time, and I would love to see return, and that is Lesnar's beard from when he fought Velasquez. I think it was UFC 121, as far as I remember. Now, if there's ever a man forged from steel, came down from the cold mountains of Canada, carrying a dead elk across his shoulders, that beard completed the look. And I think without it, Lesnar looks like a jacked up 4-year-old.
He does. He does a bit. And again, points for the beard also go for rocking that haircut.
Oh yeah, the old school short back and sides,
High and tight.
tight,
yeah, absolutely. A strong beard, a strong
I'm shocked
showing.
that he's never brought it back, being an avid hunter and woodsman like he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's an outdoors guy. He lives in a cold climate. I mean, it seemed like, you're right, it almost seemed like when he had that beard, you were kind of like, I always sort of just expected him to have that beard.
Like if society disintegrated after the next Cold War and, you know, the nuclear winter is upon us, you can definitely see Brock Lesnar surviving in the woods, wizened, wrinkled face, snow gathering in it as he hunts his prey.
You could do. I think that beard is underrated. Not one I even thought of, because it is so underrated. You're right, though. That is a strong. And do you know what I will say too? Completely represents your criteria for a beard.
Oh, absolutely.
That's actually a pretty good prototypical one for how you feel about beards.
Yeah.
My number 5, and judging by what you've asked me so far, I think you're going to question this one, is Chuck Liddell.
That's not a beard.
It is. It's a goatee beard. It is. And again, I have to put Chuck Liddell in because he was rocking the beard before it was cool. He was representing the beards in MMA. He is not only a pioneer of MMA, but a pioneer of beards in MMA.
I suppose if you thought back to like that era and you said draw me or point out of a lineup the prototypical cage fighter,
they had a handlebar mustache.
He's gonna have a goatee, a handlebar, and a
mohawk.
Oh yeah, the mohawk. Yeah, definitely. And
again,
combined with the Chinese lettering tattoo on the head.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's nice to see Chuck Liddell. He's actually doing a lot of YouTube videos again, which is great because he's one of those UFC fighters that, you know, you heard all the legendary stories about, and it's
the club fights.
And it's nice to see him like talking about it.
It's from a better time.
He is from the old generation,
I'll ask
the
you
old
this
guard.
before we move on from him, though. Big talk of a return.
Don't want to see it.
No.
Don't want to see him.
Interested.
We will. Well, maybe this is something else that we'll get into. If anyone wants to see a discussion from us on whether or not we think the Tito and Chuck fight should happen, let us know in the comments below, and we would happily do it. But I think to keep it simple so that we can carry on with this topic is I think that Chuck, unfortunately, is definitely one of the fighters that has taken quite a few headshots. I'm not sure yet. I mean, we talked about it on this week's podcast about Frankie Edgar. You're right, we can never make these decisions for other people, but I'm just not sure that I would be so happy with an organization encouraging it for financial gain, because the guy's a legend, and I don't think he has anything left to prove. Also, let's be honest, Tito is still active ish.
We'll see. On with the beards.
On with the beards. Who you got at number 5?
Number 5, I have a new contender, a blue chip prospect in the world of beards, who I can see, challenging the lofty heights of my beard list if he sticks around for the next few years, and that is one Julian Marquez.
Oh, Julian Marquez. Yes,
that is a solid beard.
That is a remarkable beard. Now, he is in
points for color, depth, density,
trim, everything on the right side of scraggly, but not too scraggly.
Too long.
Nice and dense, not too long. Proper. Now,
I
that
admit,
to me,
I've got some serious beard envy going on.
Yes.
I can't grow the cheeks personally.
I get about halfway up and then I stop, and it's a problem I
just can't do it.
The thing is, he is, as you say, you're going for the there's almost a time served element, in the rankings. You got to earn your place. So you're saying that his beard has he's the hot prospect.
Yeah, his beard is showing.
This is
potential.
Darren Till versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. This is the number one prospect of beards in the top 10 mix.
Yeah, he's getting his shot.
Okay, I get
over the next few years, he could definitely move up my beard rankings.
I've rated him higher because I have bought into the hype train of the Julian Marquez beard. My girlfriend, who is another Mel.
Yeah.
She very much likes Julia Marquez in a whole number of ways. So that, in fact, to be honest, that's the only thing that stopped me from putting in number one. It's just pure beard envy on my part.
Just jealousy.
Just flat out cold-hearted jealousy, and I couldn't have him at number one. But what I will say is I agree with you. I think that, you know, I mean, he called Tyron Woodley out. He's also the first UFC fighter we've seen actively investing in this beard game.
Oh,
He's
absolutely.
really getting behind it, and he called out Tyron Woodley about this. He's not afraid to say to Woodley, look,
To me, 30-27 scorecards across the board for Marquez versus Woodley in the beard game.
ooh, that's a big prediction.
It's controversial, but as we were saying earlier, Marquez is rocking that push broom as well.
Yep,
He's
yep.
sweeping him away, sweeping Woodley to the side with it.
Well, my number 4 is Tyron Woodley, and I give him much credit because it is a remarkably well kept beard. You've docked him points for perhaps pushing the boundaries of what a beard is.
No, I'll give him it's a beard just for my personal preference. Just a wee bit thin, a wee bit close to the lips.
So you're taking the Adelaide bird scoring approach of, nah, I don't really like it, so I'm just gonna.
No, it's strictly personal preference.
Who have you got at number 4, Mel?
Number 4, a guy we've already spoken about, Big Country Roy Nelson.
Oh, high up the list.
Yeah, you combine it all together, like we said, the mullet, the beard, the body.
So you're implying the beard is part of its sum, like a sum of all its parts with
exactly
Nelson.
Add it all together. Some beards stand alone, but some beards are part of a greater being.
I think that we have, we do only have a handful left, and I think that there's not a lot of room left for us. I'd imagine there's going to be some crossover here. So, weighing in at number 3, who you got, Mel?
I got Johnny Big Rig Hendricks.
Yeah, that's exactly who I have also.
A man who has fallen on hard times, but whose beard has persevered.
His beard has persevered strong. I've often wondered when he was having the weight cut issues. I did wonder why he didn't shave the beard off, because
I wonder how much extra weight it is.
I reckon I've heard people say that he could have made it down to featherweight if he'd shaved from welter, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's a solid 30-40 pounds of hair.
at least. I mean, you have to imagine it's factoring a lot of weight. I give him points because stereotypical beard, isn't it? Just good all-round beard, utility beard.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's the journeyman of beards.
You know what it is? It's a playoff beard. Because after a fight, I see that he shaves, and then when he goes into camp, it's left to grow and nurture.
Go wild.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, you know, he just is not the Johnny Hendricks of old.
No. Tell me this. Why do you think that is?
Oh, goodness. There could be any number of reasons.
USADA.
Well, there's lots of people throwing that out, and just maybe not USADA, just
the lack of being able to take.
No, just the amount of horrendous weight cuts that man has gone through must have just wrecked his body.
I really like Johnny Hendricks too. I love watching him fight, and it is, as you say, it's just not the same now. And I really hope that, if nothing else, I hope that he manages to scrape together a nice few fights to round off his career off. You know, I'd like to see him start to fight down the rankings a bit and just become a little bit more comfortable with his place again. You know, I think that realistically we won't see him fighting for a title again. No chance. You know, it's a sad time because I'm a big Johnny Hendricks fan, and I remember being one of the people that was outraged.
The fights with Lawler and GSP were great.
Oh, they were unbelievable
in the past, unfortunately. So he is our joint number 3. Who you got at number 2?
I have the boy himself, Julian Marquez.
Fair
Only
enough.
thing kept him off first place was, as I said, nothing but sheer jealousy.
Fair enough. At number 2, I have gone with Kimbo, of course. You know, the notoriety of that beard, the look, you know, the teeth, the chains,
Kimbo's
the half-shaved chest,
everything. The shaved chest but with his little. I was always thinking of like what a terrible person to have to grapple with, because like I'd imagine that his chest was like
sweaty,
sandpaper, and
then
like
sandpapery
on the other. But like I rest in peace, Kimbo. I mean, it's like you know what's weird? He's one of the few people that managed to transition over to MMA from outside of MMA that seemed to be pretty well liked and loved. You know, most of the people that did that.
But part of that, his appeal was the legendary look.
Yeah.
The bald head, the beard, the chains, the teeth, the tattoos.
He looked like something out of the A-Team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. He
Yeah,
looked like,
yeah.
real life B.A. Baracus.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And like, it's just a big jack dude who could go to war at times when he
Okay.
decided to. Number one. So this is literally the first championship we will be giving out. So I guess unless ours are the same, it will be up for debate. In which
Okay.
case, feel free if you agree, disagree, or have any other thoughts on it. Feel free to link it in the bottom or comment in the video below. We will make sure that we get back to you. My number one, Randy Couture with the old man strength beard.
Oh, with the grizzled grey,
Yep.
spits of grey
Yep.
through it.
Yep, wee spits of grey, solid, dense, but well trimmed. He's very into fashion. He always it was one of those beards that he could have done whatever he wanted with it, and that is why I think he is the clear winner. If he'd wanted to go Don Fry Tash, he could have done it. If he wanted to go goatee, which he did, he could do it. If he wanted to go beard, he could do it. He just best ability to grow whatever beard he wanted. Randy Couture, old man strength.
Well, I'm afraid you've missed one huge, legendary name when it comes to the beard game, and he is sitting at my number one, and that, of course, is Andre the Pitbull Arlovsky.
Yeah, that is definitely someone that I should have had in my list. I feel dumb now.
And like I was saying about Julian Marquez, you know, he's got a long way to go to the top. But Arlovsky's beard has been there. It has
Done
been
it.
there from day one. Mid 2000s Arlovsky with a long hair. Late 2000s Arlovsky with a short hair. There was, you know, the skid where it all went a bit pear-shaped after the Fedor fight, and the resurgence like a phoenix from the ashes. The beard rose and the beard remains, and here we are in 2018, 20 odd years later,
Still rocking the beard.
still rocking the beard.
I will admit that that is one massive oversight on my part. That's definitely a beard I should have put on the list.
Density, shape, color, push broom.
Oh, you really going on that push
Put on
broom?
the push broom. Longevity. Plus, Andre Arlovsky looks like a guy who could shave today and
Have a beard tomorrow.
concentrate
See
really
that?
hard.
Hachoop!
Yeah,
Like,
or squeeze it out like Play-Doh. So yeah, he is in my eyes, the undisputed beard champion.
That is one I definitely should have put in. Well, I think that this is a topic we're going to have to come back to because I would imagine there will be some discussion on this. So again, shout us your thoughts on Twitter. You can get at us on Facebook at the MMA Weigh-Ins. You can email us at the MMAweigh-ins@gmail.com, or you can comment on the video below. So please do like and subscribe. Share love. Peace.
Peace.